who is going to win the quarterfinals, who is going to take the next step on their path to $40,000 and a Pro Tour title. Match we're going to focus on, wow, what a feature match. Paulo, Vitor, Damo, Rosa, one of the real stars of the Pro Tour. 3 top 8s over the course of the last couple of years. He's piloting the deck of the tournament. Fairies, the defining deck in this field. But he's playing against Shuhei Nakamura, who's got main deck Thoughtseize. You see right there, Thoughtseize deprives Paulo of a rune snag. And now if you look at that draw, there were only 5 cards in that draw. And if I saw correctly, there was only 1 spell.
Yeah.
And it's gone now.
Yeah,
so Paulo's got the awesome fairy deck, but cannot be feeling good about 4 lands and nothing else as he starts his first turn.
That looks like it was a double mulligan to start this.
Yeah, Paulo had to double mulligan. Shuhei came out with a Thoughtseize, followed by a turn 2 Tarmogoyf.
Not an elf, but
yeah, it'll get the job
a
done.
friend of the elf tribe.
Very, very much a friend of the elf tribe. So Shuhei Nakamura, in his 5th top 8. This guy has been on top of the Pro Tour. He's been near the top of the Player of the Year standings. He's been, level 6, level 8, whatever the top level is for any given year. That's where Shuhei's hanging out. He's flying to Grand Prix. He's living the life.
He was the
and
road warrior.
Absolutely, was the road warrior to the Invitational last year. Here comes Tarmogoyf smashing in for a couple. Civic Wayfinder comes down to pick up another land.
Civic Wayfinder's a card that's we've seen a surprising amount of this weekend, and see a surprising amount of in this top 8. A number of players, again, were quibbling over the Civic Wayfinder in elf decks and whether or not it belonged. But as I'm pointing out, that so many of these matches go to your big mana spells, your commands, whether they be primal or
profane. And here comes Garrick. Wow. Oh, but a rune snag. Paulo's got that Garrick covered. I don't know what he's doing about Tarmogoyf and Civic Wayfinder, though. Now there's a Planeswalker in the graveyard, too, so that's 5 power.
A Planeswalker and an instant. Oh, there was already an instant.
Yeah. Bitter Blossom comes down.
So it's Bitter Blossom's like a force field here. Pay 1 life each turn to prevent 5 from the...
I suppose so.
Tarmogoyf.
Is that the 5 already? Instant Sorcerer Planeswalker? Seems like 3.
6, 7?
Oh, Mutavault, too. Paulo takes 7. It's about half his life total. He's going to take another one from Bitter Blossom.
6. Tick.
DeRosa's at 6, squaring off against a 3-power Tarmogoyf, Civic Wayfinder, a Llanowar Elf, and a Mutavault, and a Treetop Village. Activates the Mutavault. Does not activate the Treetop. He's worried about the command. That makes sense. Doesn't want to get all his creatures tapped. Well, if he does, he wants to be able to cast a spell.
Or activate his Treetop Village after that.
True. Oh yeah, you're right. That's a nice play. Can Paulo get out of this from 6 life facing that forward?
He's going to trade Mutavaults. He's going to maybe
trade Mutavaults. Take Shove Tarmogoyf. Take 2 down to 4. Yeah, he puts Mutavault in front of Mutavault. Takes his fairy token, chump block a Tarmogoyf, and falls to 4.
Scion of Una would have been pretty exciting there.
Yes, it would have.
It would have kept the Mutavault that way, at least.
You probably would have traded with Wayfinder in that case.
Yeah. Spell stutter spray.
Oh, Nameless Inversion. Takes it out of play. Here comes a fairy token. Paulo down to 3.
That's the infuriating thing about the fairy deck. Sometimes they just won't die.
Huh. No commands, and a bunch of attackers. Paulo is looking. He's got a Mutavault and a fairy. Yep. Yeah, nope, there you go. Game 1 to Shuhei Nakamura. Takes a quick 1-0 lead. Paulo had his double mulligan, and Shuhei came blasting out of the gates. You almost feel bad if you're Shuhei, like you wasted a good draw there.
I don't think you ever feel bad going up 1 game in the top 8 of a Pro Tour. I mean, both of these guys have multiple top 8. 5 for Shuhei, 3 for Paulo.
Right.
But neither player has the win.
It's true.
And this could be the match that determines which one is the... Certainly determine the first of these two to get there.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, the winner should be seen as the best player for the rest of the top 8. I mean, I think that's an easy argument. I mean, and these are certainly two of the best players without a Pro Tour win.
Right.
I mean, so often you talk about sort of best player without a top 8, but I mean, best player without a win is kind of an interesting debate too. Kenji doesn't have one either.
Well, then it's not very interesting, that debate.
I think it's... I don't know.
Shuhei also does not have one.
I mean, you want to talk about Kenji. I feel like the torch has been passed to France. Best player in the game right now, I believe, is Guillaume Wapatapa, and not Kenji Samura. I think that torch has passed literally over the last couple of months.
But Guillaume has his title.
Guillaume does have a title, that's fair. But I mean, Kenji is not on top. It's not clear that he is the Kenji that he was a year ago.
Right.
I mean, you got Guillaume Wapatapa playing 50 hours of Magic a week, and he's surrounded by good deck builders, and he's awesome.
But that's only 3 matches.
Touche. So what does the sideboard do to this matchup?
Well, we've got Damnation from Paulo, which is going to be a huge battle that this was fought on. For some reason, Paulo yesterday didn't seem to think that there were thought seizes, but in Shuhei's list. But
well, they weren't in the sideboard. Paulo was first. He was happy. He's like, "Hey, no hand destruction in the sideboard."
Oh wait, it's main deck.
Or the main.
As we've seen.
Sorry.
So yeah, but the Damnations are obviously a big deal here.
Okay, that makes sense.
You see the kind of draws that Shuhei wants to get to win. Mm-hmm. You've seen how Paulo already. We've seen how Paulo can just sort of slow him down and buy some turns if he's under the gun with a Bitter Blossom and reset with a Damnation. So the matchup swings nicely. This is going to be Damnation versus Thoughtseize after sideboarding, I think.
Okay. Does Shuhei have anything else on the board? He's just got his main deck configured to be reasonable.
Well, he's got his Bitter Blossoms.
Okay.
He's got it is an interesting card. We're not going to see it in this matchup, but
Incremental Blight.
He's got Incremental Blight in his sideboards. Yes.
Wow. Interesting.
Obviously, for a lot of the persist decks that were out there.
Sure.
Just get rid of those Kitchen Finks. Make them go away.
That'll
come
work.
Back. Also, the one-sided Damnation is sometimes pretty nice.
I can imagine. It's worth paying 5 for, right?
I'd be curious to see if he brings in his Bitter Blossoms.
I would think so. I mean, what are they there for if it's not to counteract this, for this matchup?
Right.
Is there a matchup where they're better for him?
I can't imagine.
Yeah, they have to be for this matchup.
I've given up trying to fully understand Shuhei Nakamura's thought process, though. He definitely marches to a different drummer.
It's true.
And a much more successful drummer than most people march to.
The Darwin Castle of Japanese Magic?
It's possible.
I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah, obviously.
So.
Obviously. I think Shuhei would be pretty happy with Darwin's career resume.
He's closing in on it. Darwin was in this tournament for a while.
But at the end of day one, he and Rob Doherty were both top 16. He had a pretty bad early run on day 2.
Okay.
But Rob was still in contention right up until the end. It was a good Hall of Fame weekend. We had a nice solid performance from Zvi.
Yeah, Zvi was playing
certainly
in the last
not the Hall of Fame weekend we missed last time out.
Oh, in KL, that's true. It was interesting. You talk about Zvi. He lost the first 3 matches in this tournament, and he was playing in the last round to miss top 8 on tiebreakers.
Right.
I mean, he knew he couldn't make it, but he would have been tied with Paulo if he had won the last round. He lost, put him in about 30th, because of course his breakers were terrible.
Right. He started 0-3, went on an 8 or 9-0 run.
8-0, then picked up a loss, then rattled off a couple more.
Right.
All right, looks like Paulo's actually going to keep 7.